Today, I spoke about the next generation of creativity and what that really means when it comes to the Gen Z audience. Only 12% of the Gen Z audience feel represented in the ads they see. And so there is far more we can be doing as an industry to drive greater representation. The 18 to 24-year-old audience, this is the generation born after the internet, which I think is fascinating in terms of how that just influences their behaviours. It means that they are connected like no other. They have technology seamlessly integrated in everything they consume. They expect to be discovered by brands at the time that suits them on their terms. And they have a space where they can use their voice and drive change. And I think we see trends on our platform against this audience for real representation, authentic representation. There are some interesting questions we should be asking ourselves. Are we in control enough to let go? You know, as a brand, have a clear identity and a clear campaign, but then let it go to your community of creators to really represent effectively. How can we make meaningful experiences for this audience? Have we got the right people in the room as well? You know, are we collaborating in the most effective way? You know, I love the work by Hugo Boss. They were rebranding for the first time in 50 years. Boss as language is often defined in the past as someone who's quite distant. It's far more approachable now. A boss is someone who's creating a space of their own, is independent, is entrepreneurial. And so they did this on our platform on Instagram, and they worked with 200 different creators, asking them what it meant to be a boss and really making that relevant today through a community of creators. And of course, it was hugely successful for them. Short form video content, Reels, you see 2 billion Reels. It is a really social space for this audience. But also when we think about AR and what that's doing for storytelling, and actually we ran one of our largest studies into brand building at Meta to really quantify the impact of these more personable, social touch points. We found they shift deeper brand metrics by 139%. And so I think that's really interesting because we know this audience is leaning into them. We know they're driving growth. We know they are making creativity so much more accessible. And I think when it comes to creativity, imagination's never been the barrier. It's been accessibility, ability to build, to connect. And I think it just provides a powerful landscape for this audience. The thing that defines them is their differences. Their identity is constantly evolving. And so it's important that we think about their values. We think about what's happened over the last few years. It's been challenging, but this is a generation that's very hopeful. And they talk about the opportunity when it comes to creativity and innovation to really drive positive change. And I think that really sums up this generation in a really powerful way. And I think we should think about how we can mirror that in how we connect with them.